conduct further longitudinal and naturalistic studies in the future. And that's all from my presentation, and thank you for your listening.
Very good.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lina, and today my topic is peer evaluation as an active learning technique. This article was published in 2005 in the Journal of Instructional Psychology, and the researcher Lizzie Durham mentioned that as being an instructor, reviewing students' paperwork and giving them comments and then return the papers to the students, in some instances, the students expressed that the editing of the papers may damage their self-esteem. So the purpose of this article was going to discover another way to evaluate the students. I divided my presentation into 5 parts. The first is introduction and comes to the methodology, findings, conclusion, and finally is my personal reflection. In the 1986, Porras mentioned that evaluation is a crucial part of the learning process. Feedback and evaluation are both important to the students, and the faculties. Student needs suggestions or comments to improve themselves, and for the faculties during the evaluation, they can increase their academic knowledge. And there are 2 types of evaluation basics. The one is formative, and another one is summative. Formative evaluation involves giving the feedback that is focused on changing process as they are happening. And for the summative evaluation, occurs at the end of the process, focused on judging the quality of the outcome. And there are 3 research questions in this article. First is, to what extent is peer feedback meaningful and effective? Second, what lessons do the peer evaluator learn from the activity? The last one is, to what extent the peer evaluation process result in a better research papers for student researchers and peer evaluators? And here comes the methodology part. This study involves the use of a class which is a graduate educational course. That there are 19 graduate students in this class, and they are asked to rate their skills at conducting research. And it shows that the score is from 3 to 10, with 6 over here, 6 being the medium score, and 5 being the most score. And for each of the participants, they are going to provide their own research paper, which need to contain the introduction part, statement of the problem, little review, and the statement of a hypothesis. And the last one is the methodology part. And also, we have self-selected 2 classmates to give them comments or suggestions, also and fill out evaluation forms. As for the evaluation form, divided into 4 parts. The first one is statement of problem. The second is literature review. The third is hypothesis. And the last one is the description of the participants. And after the student researcher receive their research papers, they could have a discussion with their peer evaluators. And after that, each of their student researchers need to compose a paragraph about what they have learned in this activity, and also rate a 5-point like a score. And as for the peer evaluator, they are going to fill out a questionnaire. And the findings. For the student researcher, all of them consider that the peer evaluation activity was helpful, meaningful, and effective. And there are 84% of them agree that the feedback from their peers was constructive. And at least 58% of them consider that the feedback from their peers was clear and understandable. And as for the peer evaluator, they were asked that were they able to give constructive feedback, or whether their feedback is helpful for their classmates. And 100% of them consider that they were able to give constructive feedback. And at least 68% of them understand their role as being a peer evaluator. And comes to conclusion. First is, the students in this course felt that peer evaluations were helpful, meaningful, and effective. And second, the peer evaluators felt that this activity was helpful in helping them in the final revision of their papers. And the last one is the quality of the papers from this class was significantly higher than the papers in previous classes. And the last part of my presentation is my personal reflection. As I just mentioned, the quality of the paper in this study is better than the quality of the paper in previous classes. But, however, I could not find any data to support this. So I have a question for the researcher, that is, how did he or she evaluate or discover or judge the paper? Depends on what? What